Hey Hardware, welcome to the workout of the day for Wednesday, April 1st of 2020. Hey, maybe April will be better than March. So this is April Fool's Day. Welcome to the workout. We have just a one-piecer today, which is kind of a long piece. One of the things I was thinking here is that oftentimes when we have bad news, we have bad situations, we're really focusing on trying to make the best of it, right? And every year, coming up in May, we do the workout Murph. And sometimes we feel like we weren't quite prepared for all of the running and push-ups. So why not get started now? Maybe because of this quarantine, we're all going to be better at Murph than we've ever been, because all we can do is run and do push-ups and air squats. So today is a little bit Murph-ish on purpose. Let's talk about how it works. So first of all, the workout of the day is run 1 mile. Then, after you're done running your mile, we're going to do 10 rounds of 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups, followed by 1 more mile of running at the end. Okay, so you can see, if you're familiar with the workout Murph, you can see the sort of similar format there. Let's talk about the runs. First of all, I'm going to give you a long warm-up at the end of this video to prepare you for some running if you are trying to go outdoors today. I know I'm going to try to. I haven't looked at the weather yet, but I'm hoping that we'll get good enough weather that we can do some running outside. But I also know that a shockingly large amount of you have rowers and bikes at your disposal at home as well. So the standard substitutions there would apply in terms of a rowing substitution or a biking substitution for a 1 mile run. And you can email your contact coach to talk about that, about what distance is right for you. But really what I'm looking for here is 6 to 8 minutes of cardio straight through, 6 to 8 minutes. So whatever that distance is for you, that's great. If that means you run a 1/4 mile and that takes you 6 minutes, that's great. If you want to power walk around your block and that takes you 6 minutes, that's great. We're just looking for steady state cardio for about 6 to 8 minutes, all right? While we're on the subject of that run, I want to give you sort of our indoor version. So if you are someone who's stuck at home with no equipment or very little equipment, what I want you to do is we'll do 6 rounds, and each round is going to be 1 minute long, and we'll do 30 seconds of jumping jacks or whatever your kind of impact-free jumping jack substitution is. 30 seconds of jumping jacks, and then we're going to do something that I know it's going to feel silly. I know everyone's going to give me crap about this, but I promise it's effective. We're going to do what's called a seated sprint drill. So this is going to come back later in the warm-up too, because it's really fun. So this, I promise you, this is a legitimate thing that runners will do. I didn't just make it up. And that is in order to work on the cadence, tempo, and the actual angle of their arms while they're sprinting, they'll do it in a seated position so that your legs are not actually at play. It's just less to think about. So what you're looking to do is get a 90-degree angle with your arms here. You're swinging, and you're also trying to sort of catch a little bit of a butt bounce here. So as I'm running, imagining that I'm outside, this would be sort of slowish pace. So later in the warm-up, we're going to kind of go into a sprint pace. So this would be 30 seconds of jumping jacks and then 30 seconds of trying to actually pump your arms like you're sprinting down the street. And I know it seems silly, but it actually does get me really out of breath. I'm actually sweating now. And I only did like 5 jumping jacks and that. So you would do 6 rounds going back and forth. Jumping jacks, 30 seconds, sit down, imagine that it's nice outside and you're running down the street, and then back to jumping jacks for 6 minutes. I know it seems a little silly, but I think it'll do the trick, and I don't think your neighbors are going to complain too much, okay? So that is our no equipment substitution. Of course, you could do jumping jump rope or whatever other step-ups, anything you can come up with. Talk to your coach about that, all right? In the middle, we've got our push-ups and sit-ups. Pretty straightforward. If you're lucky enough to have an ab mat at home, whether you have one of your own like this, or whether you've got one from Hardware, we're looking to do the full ab mat sit-up. That would be great if you can get the knees out to the sides. Touch, throw, touch. Whenever I teach these to the new folks, I always tell them, imagine that they're inbounding a soccer ball. Overhead, throw. So touch, throw, touch. You could do any kind of crunch that is right for you, or if you need to not be crunching for some reason, you could do some sort of plank version. Again, I would talk to your captain about that. And then we've got our usual push-up substitutions. This is a lot of push-ups. So I would say that the knee push-up, personally, I know I'm going to be doing knee push-ups because my shoulder is not quite ready for 100 push-ups on my toes yet. So I think that's still going to be a great variation. You just want to be able to keep moving. I'm imagining, maybe I'll take it back, that the 10 rounds in the middle should be something along the lines of 10 minutes. 10 rounds in 10 minutes. The camera woman just gave me a look on that one. So if that means maybe you cut it in half, maybe the volume's not right for you, maybe you do 5 rounds of 10 and 10, or maybe you do 10 rounds of 5 and 5. You could split the difference. You could do 75 reps, 50 reps, whatever works for you. But we're looking to keep moving. So now that means we're looking at 6 to 8 minutes up front, 10-ish minutes in the middle, 6 to 8 minutes at the end, right? Which would give us, on the longish end there, 26, 30 minutes. This should be a long one, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it there on the official WOD Brief video, but I've built a really long, I've stolen a lot of pieces of a really long and great running warm-up, but it's so many movements that I don't want to break each one down or this video will be forever long. So instead, at the end of this video, if you are warming up by yourself, you can now skip to the end of this video and I will just do the warm-up in full in my living room here and we can do it together. All right? So if you are not joining me for the warm-up next, I hope to see you on the live online class. Remember, there's a class at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Zoom, and check your email for the link. See you there.
back.